Hi students, in the last module we have checked what is the unit of rate constant of nth order reaction as well as rate equation of nth order reaction, and we have checked half-life time of nth order reaction and we have derived that also. Now let us check the module 3 in which we are going to check about zero order reaction. So by now you should have understood what is meant by zero order reaction. The change in concentration of any reactant molecule, if it does not influence the rate of reaction, then we call it as zero order reaction. That is, change in concentration will not influence the rate of reaction. In the sense, rate of reaction is independent of change in concentration of reactant molecules. Change in concentration of reactant molecules. Then it is known as zero order reaction. Remember that in zero order reaction, rate of reaction should be independent of change in concentration of reactant molecules. So, which implies its dx by dt must be equal to constant. As it is a rate constant of a zero order reaction, we keep a zero here to indicate that. So, dx by dt equal to k naught t, which implies dx must be equal to k naught dt, taking integration on both sides. Previously we have seen that integral dx is x equal to k naught into integral dt is t plus c. As we said, in integration always on any one side we have to keep the constant to eradicate the errors in integrating the values. So x equal to k naught t plus c. How to calculate c? As we have seen in the last class, at t equal to 0, x is reactant amount, x is equal to 0, which implies 0 is equal to k naught into 0 plus c. So from this equation, x equal to k naught t plus c, at t equal to 0, x equal to 0 only, we can find out the c. See, when t equal to 0, it is at initial conditions. When it is at initial conditions, reacted amount will be obviously 0, because initially nothing should have reacted. So at t equal to 0, x equal to 0, if you substitute that values in this equation, we get that 0 is equal to k naught into 0 plus c. So c is equal to 0, which implies x equal to k naught t is the rate equation of, this is the rate equation of zero order reaction. So what is the rate equation for zero order reaction? X equal to k naught t. See, once again, rate of reaction is independent of change in concentration of reactant molecules. Then only we call it as zero order reaction. So here, which implies dx by dt, that is rate of reaction must be constant. It does not vary with the time. So integral dx must be equal to k naught integral dt. So what is integration of dx? We have seen in the last previous modules itself. So integral dx must be equal to x. Integral dt must be equal to t. X equal to k naught t plus c. So here to find c, always we ask you to take a t equal to 0. At t equal to 0, nothing should have reacted. So obviously x must be equal to 0. When x equal to 0, t equal to 0, if you substitute that values in this equation, what we do get 0 equal to k naught into 0 plus c. So c must be equal to 0. which implies if you substitute C value in this equation, we will get X equal to K naught T. This is the rate equation of zero order reaction. Here X is reacted amount. Here T is time. K naught is rate constant of zero order reaction. Now, from X equal to K naught T. Here X is taken in y-axis, mx plus c. Here anyway plus 0 we can put. So y-intercept in this case will be 0. It is a slope-intercept form of the graph related to zero order reaction. Here what should be taken in y-axis? X value, that is reacted amount in a reaction. Now this is slope. Slope is K naught. What is T here? We should take T in x-axis. So variables only should be present in x-axis and y-axis, not any constant. What is y-intercept? 0. As y-intercept is 0 and it is with positive slope, we can see that graph passes through, straight line passes through origin. Y equal to mx plus c is a straight line equation as you have learnt in your 10th mathematics. So remember, y equal to mx plus c means you will get only a straight line graph, compulsory it is. So here in y-axis we will take this variable x, in x-axis we will take the variable t. K naught must be equal to the slope. Here m must be equal to slope. Y-intercept is 0, in the sense straight line passes through origin. If slope is equal to rate constant and if we say that if the straight line passes through origin, it implies that you can identify that it is a zero order reaction. So whenever they mention that slope must be equal to rate constant, reacted amount taken in y-axis and time taken in x-axis, in that case if a straight line passes through origin, we have to identify directly that it is a zero order reaction. Now, similarly, for a zero order reaction, there is another graph related to that. That is, what happens to dx by dt with the time? With the time, change in concentration of reactant would be negligible. In the sense, we can say that dx by dt does not vary with time. So it is parallel to the x-axis. So this is also indicating this graph also rate of reaction. Instead of dx by dt, here it can be given as rate of reaction also. Rate of reaction in y-axis and time in x-axis, and if the line passes parallel to the x-axis, then it indicates it is a zero order reaction. This is another graph indicating that it represents a zero order reaction. Next, what is unit of rate constant of zero order reaction? We have seen that also in module 2, but anyway we will check that. We have taken what is unit of rate constant for nth order reaction, moles per liter 1 minus n per time. Here n indicates the order of reaction. This is unit of rate constant of nth order reaction. Here for a zero order reaction, what is n is equal to? For a zero order reaction, n must be equal to, we take it as 0. N must be equal to 0. So which implies unit of K naught. This indicates that it is a rate constant of zero order reaction. Must be mole per liter to the power of 1 per time. In the sense, it has same unit as the unit of rate of reaction. Remember that this is also one model problem. Which order reaction will have same unit as that of unit of rate of reaction? So which has the same unit as that of unit of rate of reaction is zero order reaction. So remember, this term itself indicates that only zero order reaction will have same unit for rate constant as the unit of rate of reaction. So unit of rate constant, if it is same as the unit of rate of reaction, it indicates it is a zero order reaction. Most of the photochemical reactions are zero order reaction. H2, example for zero order reaction is H2 plus Cl2 in the presence of sunlight produces 2HCl. This is a zero order reaction. Most of the photochemical reactions are zero order reactions. Now let us see half-life time of zero order reaction. What is meant by half-life time we have seen in the last module. It is time taken for half of the reaction to be completed, which implies here x must be equal to A by 2. Half of it should be reacted. Here x indicates reacted amount. So which also implies that x must be equal to A by 2. So as here x equal to A by 2, and what is rate equation of zero order reaction? X equal to K naught T at T equal to T half, that is at half-life time, or T 50%, anything can be given. Reacted amount x must be equal to what we said? A by 2. If you substitute this 2 in the equation, what we will get? A by 2 equal to K naught into T half. So which implies T half must be equal to, if you get this K naught this side, what you will get? A by 2 K naught. So T half of a zero order reaction must be equal to A by 2 K naught. Already we have seen that T half is proportional to 1 by A power n minus 1. For a zero order reaction, any time period is directly proportional to A, because 0 minus 1. 1 by A power minus 1, if it comes to the numerator, it becomes A power 1. For a zero order reaction, it's any time period, not only T half, T 75%, T 87.5%, any time period is directly proportional to A. So here, what is its exact value? T half equal to, if initial concentration and rate constant of zero order reaction were given, you can find out its T half. What is the formula to calculate the T half of zero order reaction? It should be A by 2 K naught. That is also an important condition. Remember that after deriving how to get it, after knowing that, you can take the T half equal to A by 2 K naught from the rate equation of zero order reaction, that is half-life time. Now let us see T 75%. T 75%, or it could be written as T 3 by 4. T 75% or T 3 by 4. So what would be the reacted amount in T 75%? 3 by 4th amount should be reacted, or 75% of the amount should be reacted. Is it not? That is 75% or 3 by 4th amount has to be reacted, which implies if initial concentration is A, what is the reacted amount? 3 by 4th of A at T 3 by 4. So at T 3 by 4, the reacted amount is 3 by 4th of initial concentration. Let us substitute this in the equation. X equal to K naught T at T equal to T 3 by 4. X equal to 3 by 4A. If you substitute that, what is that we will get in place of X? 3 by 4th of A must be equal to K naught into T 3 by 4. What is T 3 by 4 of a zero order reaction? 3A by 4 K naught. 3A by 4 K naught. This is T 3 by 4 of zero order reaction. How it is related with the T half of zero order reaction? What is T half of zero order reaction? We have calculated previously, A by 2 K naught, or else we can write A by K naught must be equal to 2 T half. A by K naught can be written as 2 T half. So in that condition, you can write here A by K naught, in place of A by K naught, we can write it as 2 times of T half, that is 2 into 3. We will get it as 3 by 2. 2 into 3. 2 ones, 2 twos. So we'll get 3 by 2 t half. So what we can write here? T 3 by 4, which implies T 3 by 4 must be equal to 3 by 4th of 2 t half, because 2 t half is equal to A by K naught from our derivation. So what will get this? T 3 by 4 must be equal to 3 by 2 t half. 2 ones, 2 twos if you do. T 3 by 4 must be equal to 3 by 2 t half. For any zero order reaction, its T 3 by 4 must be equal to 3 times of its t half. Remember now, what is meant by half-life time? The time taken for the half of reaction to be completed is called as half-life time. So that is represented as t half or t 50%. So when we take this as t half or t 50%, we have derived that. By taking a t equal to t half, the reacted amount is A by 2. If you substitute in the rate equation of zero order reaction, what is rate equation of zero order reaction? X equal to K naught t. At t half, we can take A by 2 equal to K naught into t half. So which implies t half must be equal to A by 2 K naught we got. Now we are seeing T 3 by 4. What is meant by T 3 by 4? I said to you, that is 3 by 4th of the reaction is completed, or 75% of the reaction is completed. So when X equal to 3 by 4th of initial concentration, we can take that. If you substitute that, you will get T 3 by 4 of zero order reaction. You will get it as 3 by 4th of A by K naught. So when you take T 3 by 4 equal to 3 by 4th of A by K naught, how it is related to t half? If you substitute A by K naught equal to 2 t half, you will get T 3 by 4 of a zero order reaction must be equal to 3 by 2 times of t half. So this is also a. So what is T 3 by 4? If initial concentration is given, how to calculate T 3 by 4? 3 by 4 into A by K naught. K naught of rate constant of zero order reaction will be given. Suppose they just gave t half and they ask you to calculate T 3 by 4 of a zero order reaction. How to calculate it? T 3 by 4 equal to 3 by 2 times of t half. So remember, this all were formulae. So you have to derive it and remember it also. This is about a zero order reaction. Now let us see about a first order reaction. So what is meant by first order reaction? Change in concentration of one reactant molecule influences the rate of reaction. Means it is a first order reaction. Now let us take some first order reaction. A gives rise to products. Its initial concentration can be taken as A. At an instant T, its concentration could be taken as some X amount is reacted, means what is remaining amount? A minus X. Initial concentration A. Suppose if X is reacted, what is the remaining amount of A? A minus X. So its rate of reaction is proportional to concentration of A at that instant. So as it is a first order, power should be 1 only. Rate of reaction can be taken as dx by dt equal to remove proportionality, we have introduced the rate constant K1. 1 indicates it is a rate constant of first order reaction. What is concentration of A at that instant? A minus X. By variable separation, we can take dx by A minus X must be equal to K1 dt. Suppose by taking the integration on both sides, we will get this. Already we know the integration K1t plus C. Integral dt is t. So we have to do the integration of dx by A minus X. Let us see the integral value of dx by A minus X. That is integration of LHS side. Now, integration, we have a condition that if differentiation of denominator is present in the numerator, then its integral is ln of denominator. Ln, ln in the sense log base e of denominator. So what we can write this as minus of minus dx by a minus x. Now you can check in the previous module what is differentiation of a minus x. Do you remember that differentiation of a constant with respect to anything would be 0. Differentiation of x power 1 with respect to dx must be equal to 1. So here differentiation of a minus x must be equal to minus 1 because differentiation of a is 0 minus 1. Differentiation of x is 1. So you can check this differentiation of a minus x in module 2. Differentiation of a minus x equal to minus 1. Now this differentiation of denominator is present in the numerator. So what should be its integral? I said ln of denominator a minus x. Ln in the sense ln means log base e. Ln is nothing but log base e. Ln in the sense it should be log base e. Remember log base e means what we have to take in a 2.303 into log base 10. Ln is equal to log base e equal to 2.303 into log base 10. So in differentiation of denominator, if it is in the numerator, you have to get integration of it as ln a minus x. This minus we kept as it is from this. So which implies we have to get minus ln a minus x. Substitute that integration of dx by a minus x must be minus ln a minus x must be equal to k1t plus c. Now we know how to get the c value. What is the condition to find c? To find c. At t equal to 0, the reacted amount must be equal to 0. At t equal to 0, the reacted amount must be equal to 0. We can find out c. Now substitute that minus ln a minus 0 equal to k1 into 0 plus c. What we will get? Minus ln a must be equal to c. Minus ln a must be equal to c. Substitute that in this equation. Minus ln a minus x must be equal to k1t. What is the c we got? Minus ln a. Minus ln a. So this is nothing but log base e a minus x equal to minus log base e a minus x equal to k1t minus log base e a. This is rate equation of first order reaction. This is rate equation of first order reaction. You can just note down that integral dx by a minus x must be equal to k1 integral dt. We will get this as integration of dt as t. Anyways, or we have to take for integration on one side we have to keep the constant. What is the methodology to find the constant? At t equal to 0, x equal to 0, we will get minus ln a, that is minus log base e a as the c value. If you substitute that, you will get the rate equation of first order reaction. Now, what is the rate equation of first order reaction we have got now? Minus log base e a minus x must be equal to k1t minus log base e c. Taking minus on both sides, what we will get? Log base e a minus x must be equal to minus k1t plus log base e c. This is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. What should be taken in y-axis? Log base e a minus x. What should be taken in y-axis? Log base e a minus x. What should be taken as y-intercept? Log base e c. What should be taken in x-axis? T. So if you draw the graph related to first order reaction by taking, this is a straight line equation for. So y-axis what we have to take? Log base t a minus x. Similarly, what we have to take in x-axis? T. So if you take t, you can observe that slope is a positive slope or a negative slope. It is a negative slope. So we get the straight line like this. In this, what should be the y-intercept c made here? Log base e c. What should be the y-intercept? C. Log base e, it's not c, log base e a. This is the equation, right? So we have to take in the y-intercept c as log base e a. So here log base e a must be the y-intercept. What is the slope? M is equal to minus k1 is the slope. This is the graph. If you take the rate equation of first order reaction. What is the rate equation of first order reaction? Log base t a minus x equal to minus k1t plus log base e a. It's not say it's a. In the previous equation if you check that, it is a. So what is to be taken in y-axis? Log base e a minus x. What is to be taken in x-axis? T. Then what should be the y-intercept? We have to get log base e a. What should be the slope? We have to get minus k1. If the same thing, if we take this as, instead of log base e as we said there, 2.303 log base 10 a minus x must be equal to minus k1t. Here anyway we get minus, okay, here it is minus k1t. So plus 2.303 log base 10 a. If we get like this, divide throughout by 2.303 and what we get here? Log base 10 a minus x must be equal to minus k1 by 2.303. Dividing the total equation by 2.303 plus log base 10a. In this case, what should be taken in y-axis and what should be taken in x-axis? What is slope? What is y-intercept? So here we can check that in this kind of condition we get a graph in this way. What is taken in y-axis? We have to take log base 10 a minus x in y-axis. What is to be taken in x-axis? T itself. So here also it is a negative slope with what is y-intercept now? Log base 10 a. But here slope must be minus k1 by 2.303 instead of minus k1. Now listen carefully. You can, basing on what is taken in y-axis and x-axis, your slope gets changed. So here what is taken in y-axis? Log base e a minus x. What is taken in x-axis? T. What is slope in that case? Only minus k1. What is y-intercept? Log base e a. Suppose if you, log base e is nothing but 2.303 log base 10. Is it not? So if you take 2.303 log base 10 into a minus x equal to minus k1t plus 2.303 log base 10a, you can observe that if you divide the total equation by 2.303, you will get this. Now it is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. What is to be taken in the y-axis in this case? Log base 10 a minus x. What is to be taken in the x-axis? T. So if you take like that, so what is the y-intercept? You will get log base 10a. What is the slope? You will get m equal to minus k1 by 2.303 we will get. Is this clear with respect to this graphs? So you have to remember what is taken in y-axis, what is taken in x-axis. Basing on that only you can write the slope. You can remember your slope is minus k1. Y-intercept is log base e. But here slope is minus k1 by 2.303 and y-intercept is log base 10a. It all depends on what is taken in y-axis and x-axis. So you have to remember both the conditions of graphs have to take it. Now next, let us check what is rate equation. We have got already ln, that is log base e. If you want to write log base e a minus x is equal to minus k1t plus log base e. If you take the exponential form of it, you will get A minus exponential form of first order rate equation. This is the rate equation of first order. This is exponential form of first order. So exponential form of first order reaction is A minus x equal to A e power minus k1t. So what is exponential form of first order reaction? A minus x equal to A e power minus k1t. What is A minus x? This is already we said. Here A minus x is remaining amount. A is initial concentration. Similarly, K1 is rate constant of first order reaction. Rate constant of first order reaction. You can easily remember what is T. A minus x must be equal to A e power minus k1t is exponential form of first order reaction. So remember what is A minus x? Remaining concentration of A at that instant, whatever the time taken at that instant. What is A? Initial concentration of the reactant given. What is K1? Rate constant of first order reaction. So exponential form of first order reaction is A minus x equal to A e power minus k1t. So from this already we have got that 2.303 log base 10 A minus x must be equal to minus k1t plus 2.303 log base 10 A. Now if you divide throughout by 2.303 we will get log base 10 A minus x must be equal to minus k1 by 2.303t plus log base 10 A. Now in this case if you get the log base 10 A to the LHS side, what we will get? Log base 10 A minus x minus log base 10 A. So that could be written as, now if you take minus throughout, this becomes minus, this becomes plus, this becomes minus. Anyway, you have just multiplied by throughout the equation by minus, and if you get this log base 10a this side, what we need to get here? Log base 10a minus log base 10a minus x. In logarithms, this becomes, minus becomes a division case. So you can write it as log of a by a minus x equal to k1t by 2.303. So which implies, what is k1 is equal to 2.303 by t log of initial concentration by remaining concentration. K1 must be equal to 2.303 by t log of a by a minus x. So remember, from that equation itself we have derived that, from that itself we have derived k1 equal to 2.303 by t log of a by a minus x. So this is the rate equation of first order reaction. This is also the rate equation of first order reaction. So in many of the problems we use this first order rate equation. So this is the rate equation of first order reaction. K1 equal to 2.303 by t log of a by a minus x. So you have to derive it and you have to remember that to do the problems. K1 equal to 2.303 by t log of a by a minus x. Now let us see its half-life time and T3 by 4s. What is meant by half-life time? Already as we have seen, time taken for half of the reaction to happen. So already we know at t equal to t half, x must be equal to a by 2. Reacted amount is a by 2 in the sense a minus x remaining amount is also a by 2. So if you substitute what is rate equation of first order reaction, K1 equal to 2.303 by T log of A by A minus x. Now substitute here, we can T in the place of T half. So which implies K1 must be equal to 2.303 by T half. So T 50% or T half anything. Log of A by A minus x. So here instead of A minus x, we can write it as A by 2 because the remaining amount is A by 2. Get this T half this side. So you will get T half equal to 2.303 by K1 log of A gets cancelled log 2. So what is T half of your first order reaction? 2.303 by K1 log 2. Remember this, later on we need to use this in many problems. So T half must be equal to 2.303 by K1 log 2. What is log 2 value? 0.3010. 0.3010 is log 2 value by K1. So which implies T half must be equal to, if you multiply this, you will get 0.693 by K1. So what is T half? In the problems, you can, if rate constant is given, you can calculate T half, or if they have given T half, K1 must be equal to, we can write this as K1 must be equal to 0.693 by T half. You can remember that rate constant is inversely proportional to time period or T half here. Rate constant is inversely proportional to time period. So for a first order reaction, you can see that K1 must be equal to 0.693 by T half. Remember these three conditions. T half must be equal to 2.303 by K1 log 2. T half must be equal to 0.693 by K1. This is half-life time of first order reaction. If you apply T half proportional to from the module 2, 1 by A power n minus 1. T half proportional to, for a first order reaction, 1 minus 1. That is, for a first order reaction. Remember always, for a first order reaction, T half is constant. It does not depend on. It does not depend on initial concentration, because you can clearly see that T half is proportional to 1 by A power 0, 1. So T half is constant. It does not depend on initial concentration of the reactant. So if anyone asks a question that there is a reaction, if concentration of A is double, T half is not getting changed. In the sense, it is a first order reaction. So which implies for a first order reaction, if the initial concentration is doubled or tripled or quadrupled, whatever happens to its initial concentration, its T half will never get changed. So T half is constant. It does not depend on initial concentration. So remember, for a first order reaction, it is very important term to be remembered that T half is independent of initial concentration. Is this clear? So T half must be equal to 0.693 by K1. That's what we have derived now in this case. Now let us take T 3 by 4 or T 75%. T 75% in the sense 75% of the reaction is completed. For example, at T equal to T 3 by 4, if A is equal to initial concentration, let us assume it as 100, then what would be X equal to 75? Then what would be A minus X equal to 25? Because at T equal to T 3 by 4, reacted amount is 75%. Means if A is 100, this is 75. Or else, if you take X equal to 3 by 4th of A, you can take it as 3 by 4th of A. This becomes 1 by 4th of A. You can write it anyway. So which implies at T equal to T 3 by 4. Let us see how to write it down. So what is basic equation? T equal to 2.303 by K1 log of A by A minus X. Now what is T? We have taken T 3 by 4 equal to 2.303 by K1 log of, in case of A, we can write A by A minus X is 1 by 4th of A. A gets cancelled. This must be equal to T3 by 4 must be equal to 2.303 by K1. So this becomes, if 4 comes to the numerator, log of 4. Log 4 can be written as log 2 square. This must be equal to 2 times of 2.303 by K1 log 2. Do you remember that? Here in this case, 2.303 by K1 log 2 is nothing but T half. So T3 by 4 must be equal to 2 times of T half. For A